Hello and welcome to the Gavel. I'm Lanre Lasisi. On the program, as I'm sure you're aware, our focus is on your representatives in the National Assembly and all the developments taking place there. Now, the lawmakers are still on their annual recess, so the National Assembly is fairly quiet. But some of the lawmakers were around this week. Now, are you one of those that has queried the way legislative work is done in the Parliament? Well, we have a very revealing chat with the chairman of one very special ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives, a committee set up to look at reforming the way legislative business is conducted in the House of Representatives. And what is the reaction of the House of Representatives and the Senate to the news of Nigerians' climb out of economic recession? This is also ahead. First, let's commence with the chat I had with Honorable Aminu Shagari, the chairman of the Ad hoc Committee on the Development and Standardization of Manuals and Templates for the House of Representatives. He explains why the committee was set up.
Well, actually, there has been nothing to guide, to guide or regulate how members conduct their business in the House before the constitution of our committee. But I think there was something done by NILS, that is National Institute for Legislative Studies, to try and guide members of the National Assembly and members of the House of Assemblies of States. So what they did was like an omnibus kind of provision or rules, if you like, just to guide legislators generally. So in the wisdom of the leadership of the 8th Assembly, they thought it's wise to constitute this committee so that we domesticate or develop our own manuals and templates.
You mentioned the law drafting manual, but the bill drafting manual. But can you just help us out with what other manuals your committee eventually came up with?
The mandate of the committee was to come up with develop and standardize manuals and committee, a manual that regulates the activities of a committee. What is a committee? What are the functions of a committee? How does it, what are its powers? And even the sitting arrangements in a committee is there in the manuals, where the chairman and secretary sits. Then you have members maybe on the left hand side, and then you have the other people that are facing the committee, maybe on the right, and then you have maybe where the media stays if they are there, just the sitting arrangement, and you have things like what the committee, how the committee should function generally. Then you have the public hearing manual. If you're having a public hearing, what are those things you do before, preparatory to public hearing? What are the things you are expected to do during the hearing? The questions you ask, and the response, and all that. It's a how-to, step-by-step manual on how to carry out a public hearing. Then when you finish that, then you have, of course, there are types of hearings, public hearings, interactive sections, and so on and so forth. Then you have the reporting manual. If you now do whatever you have to do in carrying out your mandate as given to you by the House of Representatives, how do you report back to the House? So you have a reporting manual or templates. This is how your report should be, so that you have maybe the witnesses, and you have the findings, and the body of the report itself, and then at the end you have recommendations, so that you have a functional report that should be all-encompassing. Then we have the oversight manual, Oversight, if you're going on oversight, what are you actually going out, to look for? And then how you should conduct that oversight, and of course how you should report back. Then after this, the mandate of the committee were just these 4 manuals. Okay. Committee, oversight, public hearing, and reporting manual. Then at the end, it says any other manual that the committee may deem fit to develop in circumstances. And we saw that it came to me as a suggestion. A professor was talking during a lecture, and he said one of the problems with the Nigerian legislature is that there is no standard way of drafting bills. So I thought, why not have a bill drafting manual? So we went back to the drawing table and came up with a bill drafting manual.